Hey guys, I wanted to give you another short testimony. I'll talk more about this in a different video that I'm working on now, but I just feel led, I feel God leading me to make this video today for those of you who are on Instagram, okay, and other social media, okay? This is for you. Like, I'm going to be used as an example of what not to do, okay? When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was modeling, and this was way before, this is 20 years ago, before Instagram was even a thing. I was getting together with local photographers, okay, and we were doing TFPs, which means time for prints. So, like, I was giving them my time for prints. So, basically, I wanted to tell you guys about this time that I was at a public park, and it's not like this regular park where there's like a little jungle gym and children at this little area. It's more like an open park where there's a bunch of trees, a bunch of grass, and just different picnic areas where people can go up and they can like grill if they want to. They can go on trail walks and things like that. So in saying that, I'm trying to explain to you the type of the environment that I was in. Like, there were a lot of trees, there were a lot of bushes. So I placed my trust in this particular photographer at the time, and he said that it wasn't a big deal, that he knew the guy that owned the land. I don't know. Whatever lie he was telling me, I was naive. I believed him. I didn't see it being a big deal, even though I knew that I had a warning in my heart that what I was doing was wrong. I went along with it, okay? Basically, I was posing in a bra and a shirt that was buttoned down, and it was see-through, with jeans and some high heels, and I was being pushed back into this rose bush, and I'm like laying back in it, and we're taking pictures, and then all of a sudden I see a cop car drive by, and I got a little bit anxious, and I remember telling the photographer, and he's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal, it's fine, we're fine." That should have been the first red flag. So anyways, we continued to take pictures in that setting, and before you know it, there were like 8 cops that whipped around the bush, and they grabbed me, and they told me to cover up, to put my shirt on, to button it up, and then they put me in handcuffs, and they did the same to the photographer, and they sat us down on a picnic table separate from each other. They sat me down, not saying much of anything, for about 25 minutes. I was shaking, I was scared, thinking I was going to go to jail at that moment. And then a couple cops came up to me and was asking me, what were our motives? Like, what was my motive in being there? They thought that I was being assaulted by an older man because he was an older photographer. So they thought I was a child, and I told them my age. I was 19, turning 20 later that year. So within a couple months, I was almost 20. I explained to them that I was, a wife and a young mother who met this photographer online, and I told them that I was trying to build a modeling portfolio. Okay, so they ended up showing mercy and compassion on me, and they warned me not to work with that photographer again, and they told me that if they found me doing these type of photos again, that they would put me in jail. So God allowed this to happen to scare the hell out of me, basically, to not do something like that again. And yeah, they warned me, that I was on public property, that it was a public park, and that they had every right to take me to jail at that moment, but they wanted to show me compassion and mercy. So they unhandcuffed me and let me go. I want to share this with you girls, and with you ladies and young women, and whoever's out there who's watching this, to really listen to that warning voice that's inside your conscience and your heart that tells you when you're doing something evil, because it's God trying to warn you not to get into serious situations like that. And I just see a lot of girls who are walking around with bralettes and jeans, and just because people call it a bralette, I see that they're using that to justify it as clothing, when it just shocks me that, like, I'm in the Midwest, okay? So there's not a whole lot of that around here, but I will say that I'm seeing more of it than I was a couple years ago. But I know that this is bigger, like in the states of California, okay? where girls are just walking around in practically nothing, you guys. They're walking around in bras and really short shorts, and I don't understand how these girls are not getting arrested or getting approached by police. Like, it's almost like there's more of an acceptance of that in California, but I just know that it's getting more wicked all across the U.S. because I'm seeing a lot of people from different areas of the U.S. posting on Instagram, regardless of what state they're in, and they're wearing these type of really provocative, revealing clothing. So I just want to use myself as an example. Do not put yourself in these situations. Don't wear provocative clothing. You're only going to cause pain for yourself and others, because not only are you causing yourself, you're degrading yourself, you're causing other people to lust. It could be married men, whoever, older men, younger boys, whatever. You're causing people to lust after your body, and that is sin, you guys. I just really want to plead with you to seek God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and ask Him to help you see the sin that it is in how you're dressing. If you're dressing provocatively, if you're showing cleavage, if you're showing a lot of skin, you know, I just see that a lot of people are getting desensitized by it, because when you see it more, people start to normalize it and get desensitized, and it's just really sad that there aren't more people who are sensitive to God's heart in this way, to want to cover up these girls and these women. Like, anytime I see a girl or a woman on Instagram who is posing provocatively, or if they're just walking around in these really revealing clothing, like, my natural reaction is I want to go cover them up, because I don't want people lusting after them, and I want to protect people, you know. Like, I was there. I know what it feels like to be this young girl in my late teens and early 20s who felt like I was looking for attention and acceptance and love in all the wrong places. Like, even though I was married and I had a husband who loved me, you guys, it just really showed how broken and lost I was, how much I needed Jesus to heal my heart. And He did, you guys, He did. This was over 20 years ago. So I've been walking with Jesus now for about 11 years. So, I mean, God did heal me of this stuff, but I wanted to confess this sin to you guys of my past, to show you that God can transform your heart if you're willing to go there with Him, if you're willing to confess that these things are sin and that, you know, that it's evil. I was around a lot of wicked people who were doing the same things to me. So when you're around people who are influences like that and they're doing these evil, wicked things, again, a person starts to get detached from sin. Like, they don't see it as sin anymore because they're around company who embrace sin. So also, you'll want to really examine who your friends are, who you're around, and who if you even have a true faithful friend in your life. Because if you do, your friend is going to tell you things that you don't want to hear in moments if they love you to protect you. And your real friend are going to tell you, like, hey, you need to cover up. You're wearing too much revealing clothing there. You're going to cause other people to lust after you. Or, really start to examine your motives and why you dress the way that you dress. And if it's because you need love, you're wanting attention, you're wanting likes, you're wanting subscribers, you're wanting followers, you're wanting all of this attention and this popularity, this fame, to make you feel like you're something special, to find your identity, you're not going to find happiness in that. You're not. And I'm an example, you guys, to learn from. Okay, I was a part of that whole lifestyle before Instagram even existed. I went to Hollywood, I went to Miami, I modeled all over the U.S., and I'll get more into that in another video, but I'm telling you, there's not happiness there. It's just, the more you open yourself up to that kind of thing, modeling or whatever, the attention that you're trying to get, either if it's sexual admiration or just admiration from other people, trying to appear a certain way that you're not going to be happy. It's not going to fill you. You'll come to this understanding eventually if you start to seek truth. Like, if you start to really examine your own heart of, like, why am I doing these type of pictures? Why am I dressing this way? So I just want to warn you guys, out of love, really ask God what your motives are, why you're dressing the way that you dress, why your heart is so broken. Come undone before Jesus, and He will help you. He will heal your heart over time. You'll start to acknowledge sin for the pain that it is, and the destruction that comes with sin. if you ask God to help you become sensitive to sin, and ask Him to give you the eyes to see and the heart to see how evil and wicked it is, and how it's not only affecting you, it's affecting other people. Your sin affects other people. Okay, so I'll be sharing another testimony video soon, however God leads me. I just want to tell you guys, seek Jesus with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and He will purify your hearts. God bless.